All right, y'all. Let's get into love and marriage Huntsville. Okay. Um, Martell and Destiny. They're sitting on the bench, and what are they talking about? Melody.
Mel.
Child Martell. Girl, I'm like, why y'all sitting on the bench? Y'all can't go to nobody's house. But anyway, go out to eat or something. So they sit on the bench. And Martell is asking about how the trip went. And I just felt like Destiny was not keeping it a book about how that trip
At
actually
all.
went and the
At
whole
all.
and, like the mimicking. I was like, well, now why are you mimicking that lady knowing you wanted to be up under that woman? Now why would you do that? Um, yeah, they got on my nerves with that. What Martell said, he said something. I think was he talking about Shanita or something like that, saying she wasn't gonna be around long because Mel don't keep her friends.
Yeah, that's what they say about her.
Child,
Marcel
that,
said that too.
Yeah, he said that. He said that they can't. They say she can't keep no friends.
that was a mess. That was a mess. Well, it appears that she must not be that bad of a friend because Destiny seemed to have one in her bed talk about something. I'm sorry. I said, now why is you sitting over there telling this man about the trip and how nice she was, but you didn't tell him, at least we didn't hear it, how you told her you understood everything she went through now that you're going through your own quote unquote side chick situation and how you sorry and that you love her. Why you
She
ain't say
left
nothing
that
to me?
whole part out. Left that whole part out. I was like, this is
Wow.
so pitiful. So fucking pitiful. You couldn't even say it with your chest what you were saying to her down there. I was I oh, but she said something very specific in that conversation with Martell that made me think, okay, here we go. We got it. The cake is baked. Okay, so you know when they was on a trip and
Mhm.
she told Mel you were trying to teach her how to respectfully cheat. You were talking
Right.
to her on the phone. You was cool with it. When she
Right.
talked to Martell, the way she worded it, you could tell that she basically took a bunch of information and came to the conclusion because she re-explained it to Martell and was like, "Yeah, she was talking to her on the phone, doing this and doing this and doing that. So you took all that, and that's what you call respectfully, teaching her how to cheat. So
Right.
it's given you be pulling shit out of your ass and you told on yourself when you was in the conversation with Martell. But what I really want to hear is you explain what did you mean by pimping out your daughter? That's what I
Oh,
want to
And
hear.
has yet to explain that, right?
Has
no, she
yet.
does not. Just wants to
And
let it go.
then
You know why? Because that would mean she would have to show how sneaky she really is. Y'all was talking about because Arion ain't Arion the one that's been online talking about Mel's assault. Like apparently that comes from a story, and I don't know if it's true or not because Mel has never talked about it. But I think Arion, by way of Martell, put it out there that Mel was assaulted as a child
ooh.
and of course her mom knew about it. So to me I feel like they are mixed, and when I say knew about it, I mean it's something her mom knows about now, not like oh her mom knew what was going on and was okay with it. Like it's not a Tyler Perry film. But what I mean is like the way Destiny was wording it, that's where that shit really came from, and she doesn't want to have to explain where that comes from. So she makes up some shit that she feel like sounds right. But that would prove Mel's point even more so about how you over there kicking it with my fucking op. Because look how you was ready to disseminate some fuck information you heard from either that nigga or that bitch that's really out of pocket that you should never throw in nobody's face.
Yeah, that was nasty work. That's some nasty work. Um, I also didn't like that it was given with Mel respectfully cheating and stuff and having so much to say. But then when Martell started speaking on Marceau cheating and stuff, you get in a confessional talking about some, that's their relationship and whatever makes them happy, da da da. I said, oh, now that's what we doing. Okay, Destiny
I thought
girl.
and I thought she was friends with Tisha. Didn't Tisha bail her out of jail or some shit?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she bailed her out of jail. I know they was friends, but I don't know if she bailed her out now.
I heard that somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's true. Either way, I'm sure Destiny could have called her dad or somebody else in her family. That's not even a point. The point to me is that y'all can sit up there and talk about people and say whatever. So like Destiny talk all that shit about Mel. Martell is literally sitting up there lying and she know it. and she's sitting up there lying, and I feel like Martell knows it. To me, the scene was so weird because it felt like two people that's in love with a woman that's no longer in love with them, so they meet up and talk shit about her together because they both know what it's like to be in love with her and have her not return their affections. That's what it's given, and it's weird, and I want it to stop.
Hmm. Now, what I don't want to stop is Martell going in on Marto ass. I will give him that. I do want to see him go in on Marceau. I feel like they've teetered around the lines with what all Marceau does. But here's the thing, though, right? It ain't gonna matter because Tisha ain't going nowhere. Because that's just how she is, right? Because the same way Kimmy sat up in that interview the other night and said, "Don't tell me nothing about what happened," what she said 10 years ago or some shit like that. If it ain't recent, basically, she ain't leaving her nigga. So it is giving the purpose of bringing it up ain't gonna matter. Yeah, you may expose him, but if it's to like break up the marriage or something like that's not gonna happen. And because it's so long ago, do you have any proof? Because Marceau, if he is cheating, he's a smarter cheater than you.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that I think the Scott sisters are on the same page of if it happened years ago, don't bring that up to me now because I don't give a damn.
They married the right
Basically,
ones.
yeah. And listen, this is another thing that kills me.
Mm.
It really just sound like you mad because them niggas kept their wives and you didn't. Like they was doing all the shit you was doing, but they was able to keep their wives. And it's because they never made their side chick feel more special than she really was. And that's the thing that you never seem to be able to grasp. You made Arion feel too important. That's exactly what the fuck Mel was talking about when she was talking about respectfully cheating. And that wasn't about teaching somebody how to cheat. It was about pointing out that your homeboys that you're cheating with, they know how to do it. They fuck them girls and leave them exactly where they at. Them girls don't be coming to nobody's house. They don't be posting no pictures. They don't be trying to prove that they matter more than Kimmy or Tisha. They take their dick and whatever Marceau gives and they go on about their way. Maurice, same thing. He hit them up style and they go on about their way. Ariane wanted to be known, seen, and felt like it, that she was important. And this is the thing that I was thinking about. Everybody tried to act like, oh, Mel was cool with it. And the only reason, this nigga calling me. Uh, Mel knew about it. And the only reason she left him is because she was on a show and she felt embarrassed on the show. And I'm like, even if that was the case, then can y'all explain to me why she sprayed her own tea? If she was more worried about her image, so let me tell this girl how to respectfully cheat and I'll be cool with it, as long as it's not being done in a way that's embarrassing me. If that's all she cared about, why did she spray her own tea? That doesn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah, you could tell by how Marceau, not Marceau, whenever Martell talks about Marceau, it's always in comparison to himself. So to Bobby's point, it's very clear. It's like I am dealing with the repercussions of what I done, but you still living good.
1000%. It is given. I'm miserable. I'm on the outs. I ain't been filming as much. I'm the
Right.
villain. And yeah, I don't like the small things that you're saying about me, even though the entire cast is saying it. So I'm gonna come at you. But I
Right.
do feel like hell, you're gonna be the villain. Commit, baby. Commit to it. Be the villain all the way.
Spray him because for the longest he been teetering around it. And that's another thing. That's why I was like, finally, Martell, fucking spray him. Because to me, I feel like Maurice and Marceau really have kind of been doing okay. So you know how before the cheating shit came out, Martell was really that nigga in a group because he helped with the kids. So everybody was like trying to get their husband to be how Martell was. When the cheating comes out and Martell don't know how to hold his shit together, that is flipped. And now everybody else is a better man because they know how to
Yeah.
keep shit and you don't. And now he don't know how to deal with that because he was used to being able to be like, I'm more attractive than these niggas. My wife is more attractive. We got better businesses than y'all. He was able to compare himself to them and put himself on a pedestal. Now he can't do that anymore. And I think he be mad at Mel about that. And another thing, I think he puts it on Arion, y'all. I think when he's with Arion, he is always telling her how mad he is about not being able to retain what he had when he was with Mel. So that makes her feel jealous of Mel. And so she's then going to act out and do all of these things to hurt Melody because he's created this triangulation. And I think he been doing that, which is why I get so mad at Destiny for saying what she said. Because a part of the reason why Mel was talking to Arion so much is because Arion was calling her. Like Arion is
Mhm.
calling and texting Mel. And she's doing this because of Martell. And you don't realize that until we fast forward to all these years later, and he's still having problems staying away from her. Y'all saw the shit happen. You know, I'm sure you was gonna talk about it, Jamie. About him violating his bond by basically having somebody watch her. She went, oh, you know,
No.
she was at the DA's office for something because you know
Who?
they Mel, they're constantly in court because y'all know Martell was like trying to prove that she was having an inappropriate relationship with her security guard around the kids, but he's always having her in court surrounding the custody agreement because he wants to have first rights. Y'all know that. He
Yeah,
wants her
I know
to
that.
be, if you
Mhm.
got to do something, you got to tell me so he'll know where she is. Okay. So she was going to court for that. The DA called her down to the district attorney's office. So she's at the district attorney's office at the courthouse. She leaving the courthouse and he starts texting her, why you at the courthouse? She like, how the fuck this nigga know I'm at the courthouse? So she takes that shit back up to the DA. Like, this is what I'm talking about. He's not supposed to be contacting me about anything outside of the children. He asking me why I'm at the DA's.
Wow.
So now it's like who's watching, and people are like speculating that it might be Destiny because Destiny was at court around the same time. I don't know if it was
Mm.
Destiny.
Was she?
They said she had a court case going on with LeBaric at that time, and she was also at the court. I've only heard that. I
Can I
haven't
say
confirmed.
this though? And I
Yeah,
am going to defend Destiny just a slight bit. I think it's easier to put it on Destiny because people don't like her, but folks got to understand that that's Slick Martell like stomping ground. So
mm-hmm.
a lot of people
What
know
at
him.
the
So
courthouse? Is his stomping
that,
ground?
look, that might be it too. But I'm just
I've
saying,
heard.
like Huntsville in general. So it's like they may know him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody may be like passing him, and it may not be
He
just
used to
her
work at the police, y'all.
or
That's
her
what
at
I
all.
heard. I heard he used to work at the police office, like at the police, whatever. He used to work in some way with police officers. So at some point, he's been around people. And because remember when he got arrested and Mel was like, I put that in August. I wonder why he just got arrested. Y'all should ask why he just got arrested. And I remember because I think we might have talked to her and she might have said that shit. I can't remember or if it was an interview I heard, but she was like, that's a very interesting question. How, why was it that it took them that long to go and arrest him? Or where were the kids? How did he already know? Like just all of these things that made it seem like he might have had a heads up from somebody at the office and they might
I
have been
think
told
people
that.
give him Okay, let me say this. I think they're giving him too much credit because you got to think about people that also have like traffic warrants, right? They may go 2 years and never had been caught up or nothing. Then they finally got to go to the courthouse or they finally may have an issue and then they see the warrants. I think that's no different. I don't think that the crime that he had at the time was big enough for them to go and snatch him up at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah.
murder charge or something. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm thinking. Like it probably wasn't that big, but he said he had to go down there for something. What a dummy. But
He
he
never,
goes down there
no,
and gets
he
his ass
never
arrested.
said. He never said exactly
What?
what he was going
Yeah,
down
he
there
did.
for. But
He
I
said
agree.
something with some papers, didn't he? He had been holding
It
on
was
to some
something about some
papers.
papers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He never was specific. But when you add to the fact that if it wasn't destiny, he could know people that's down at
Mm-hmm.
the courthouse. And the reason why I say this is because y'all look at the way he works the group. Everybody in the group, low key, has had a moment where Martell has sprayed them, but for some reason they don't spray him, and they try to stay more neutral. You know what I'm saying? They really have tried to stay neutral. Even the men, like Marceau, is the only one that'll really say shit. But whenever Maurice started calling Martell Marty out of nowhere, and Martell tells them about the big backs in Atlanta and all of that, to me, I feel like Martell is a very charismatic man. He is attractive and he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to put his hand on your shoulder and tell you, all right, let me walk you to your car to make sure you get there all right. All of the
Mm-hmm.
women on the show can attest to that. He knows how to be a gentleman. So I feel like he really, in Huntsville, not no big ass place. Him and Mel
Right.
used to be down there to the courthouse all the time. So I do feel like there are people that like Martell for two reasons. One reason, he's charismatic and good looking. The other reason is that I think he finds people in compromising situations and uses what he knows against them to
Mhm.
make his life easier in one way or another. His homeboy Fred that
And
was
that's
letting
exactly who I was about to. I was about to say him. That's
him,
exactly who I was thinking about. Martell
Chris.
making money, no builder's license.
Okay. And even the way Chris would handle him, let him stay in that fucking house all that time. And he kept telling him he gotta
Mhm.
go. Like it's a whole bunch of different scenarios where Martell is given an inch and that nigga takes a mile and they
Yeah.
let
Mhm.
him. And I was thinking about, I was like, some Trump shit. Like, you know shit about people because you was cheating with your old lady. And that's another thing I feel like people don't know. And Mel has never said, this would be making me mad at Mel. Because I think Mel doesn't exactly say things forthright all the time. She don't say it straight out. She may not like withhold all the time, but she don't just she passive aggressive. She just don't say it straight out. And I be want her say it straight the fuck out. Because to me, it seemed like at some point, Kimmy specifically, y'all was partying with Martell and Arion. Y'all was around them like as a couple, and y'all didn't tell Mel shit. And
You
then
think
Mel,
that,
I
or
really do. And the
mm,
reason why, and I know that
Ooh.
here's the thing. Kimmy apparently worked with Arion when she was like a nurse's aide or some shit like that. And remember when Martell was like calling her the side chick, trying to make her look bad, and she was like, "I'm not gonna call her that. I'm not gonna call her that." It makes me feel like you had some type of relationship with her that you felt like she's just a young girl, and Martell has kind of got in her head, and I
mhm.
feel like it was something that they explained away. T-
Mhm.
Tisha knew about that shit too. Tisha knew. Tisha threw it in Mel's face before Mel even brought up you need to take your car, put them kids in the car, and take your ass down to the bar to find your nigga at 2 o'clock in the morning. Fast forward to now, and Kimmy is telling us how that's a normal occurrence, but she don't think he's cheating. Girl, okay.
Yeah, Kimmy did say something like that. She said she ain't gonna trip off him being out at 4 because that's how she met him, hanging out.
Girl,
So
yeah.
that's something he likes to do. So she said she gonna let him do his thing. Then
Girl, what
Carlos
the
was like,
fuck's
"That's
going
something I
on
would
in
have an issue
Huntsville?
with."
My man sound like
Yo,
you
what the fuck
always
going on in
do.
Huntsville at 2 o'clock in the morning? Can we be fucking for real? It's not like it's New Orleans. Like it's not like it's Houston or Atlanta where y'all got clubs that stay open till 2. The fuck you coming home at 3 o'clock in the morning for in Huntsville, Alabama, my nigga?
Nah,
Y'all
for
got
real.
one street where they
The
got shit.
barbershop parties.
Yeah, with the groupies.
And I wonder what's going on there. When she said, I can't trust you to be forthright all the time,
Listen,
That was
girl.
about more than just like when she said that, I was like, are we talking about the DUI or are we
Yeah.
talking about
it's
something
not
else?
about the DUI. Y'all
She
know it's not.
was pissed. I'm surprised she even said that much. She had to be so
It's right
upset
there.
to say, I can't trust you to be
It was
forthright all the time.
this posture that was really like letting me know how upset she was because she kept
Hmm.
her hands in her lap the whole time and that head was up. And Kimmy has been one of the most heartbreaking
Yeah, somebody who you was in love with and then they disappoint you. Yeah,
yes.
I ain't never seen nobody say, "Ha ha, JK, I'm a clown." You didn't know it. I
Mm,
ain't never seen that.
damn.
I ain't never been played so swiftly. I was just
It's y'all it's so like because we see but how many women do y'all know like that though? How many like I feel like through my life I've had many experiences with different women that I have felt like even I felt like people have had that experience with me. So I'm not excluding myself. Where you feel like either you seeing somebody play themselves out or somebody seeing you play yourself out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at your friend and they like, friend.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Like
the thing is, I ain't never. This is the thing though. When you say that you don't exclude yourself from that, it's an individual decision to play yourself out. But the thing that disappoints me is that I will see Kimmy play other women out on a show
mm,
if it aligns her logic with the male perspective. And that's where I'm just like,
that's true.
mm, yeah.
And y'all know I don't play that shit. Like
Kimmy,
I'm
Kimmy, Kimmy.
across the board with my shit. Like at the end of the day, if you can make excuses for these niggas, I'm going to be able to make excuses at least for Mel. Like, and I'm only
Mm,
saying that because I feel like Like they really be dusting homegirl out like she be out here doing the most. When really this past episode was probably the most I seen her talk shit about anybody when she was talking about the mug shots and all of that. I feel like she never really went that hard at anybody that it wasn't like a confrontation. So that was another thing where I was like, child, I guess y'all about to get a different Mel because she went in on you. I am disappointed.
What killed me was whenever her friend, what's her friend name?
Anita.
Shanita. When Shanita
Mhm.
said, you embarrassed your family.
That was that accent, bitch.
When did she say that? Talk about
When she
who?
was talking to Mel, they was talking about Maurice. And she said
Mm.
something like, you embarrassed your family or you brought shame to your family. But it was like real shady. Like, yeah, your whole family ought to be disappointed.
But y'all, this is what I want us to discuss and what I want us to come to a consensus about. Was he
What?
cheating before he got caught? Because when did he get caught and when did he get released from jail? Because it seemed as if he got pulled over at like 11 o'clock in the morning, if I recall.
Because she said she would have thought he was on his way to work. That's what she said. First thing that came to mind was hospital, but I would have thought he was on his way to work. So when she said that, I was thinking to myself, well, where the fuck was your husband going straight from drinking on the way to work?
She said
That's
she went home and remember Funky
strange.
Dineva. Funky Dineva was in town. They was down to the bar together.
How the cars be.
Because they was on live. And then the next morning, Maurice gets arrested, but he gets released shortly after. And then they back at Black drinking again. And so this is why I got it aggravated. Because I was just like, I don't know why y'all get mad at people when they're upset that somebody did something wrong instead of being mad at the person that did something wrong. Like they were all like, oh, Mel is so terrible for saying she was disappointed in Maurice for getting the DUI, especially when he always Martin Luther the King, dream speeching to everybody. Like you act like you up here, but then like
Right.
why and then you pop out right after with a bottle of alcohol, like fuck it. To me, it was more about that. It was more about the blazing. I don't give a fuck after. We all have driven home inebriated. Like it ain't no judgment like that. And in all honesty, I'm glad you got off, even though I think that you was drunk. Like I think you were drinking or you were still inebriated in some way, but I'm never mad at somebody if nobody got hurt if you got off on a DUI. Like I'm just not tripping about it. It's not that
Mhm.
serious. But the way they got mad about it, like it's innocent until proven guilty. And I'm like, he didn't even say he didn't do it. So I'm just wondering what the timeline is, first of all. And
Mhm.
I'm also wondering, even though he got it all thrown out, like if this is a common occurrence, how can we act like he probably wasn't drinking driving?
Just giving Karen
Yeah,
Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I went to white woman first and then I thought about it. And
Nah, I'm giving Karen Potomac. Like I see you. You did it, but you gonna fight.
he look, that's
As
what
you
I'm saying.
should.
He look drunk. Light skinned people. Let me tell you, this is the truth of the matter. No, for real. You could be mad, but I'm light skinned in this moment. I'm gonna be light skinned. I'm gonna be the light skinned person on this fucking panel and tell y'all that when light skinned people fucked up, they be red around the eyes. And he was in that mug shot, red around his eyes. He looked drunk. And then he popped out in the
Mm,
same
he
clothes
did.
at a bar drinking again.
He looked drunk for sure.
So that's why I was like, why are people even arguing if this nigga was drunk or not? Like trying to make it seem like Mel fucked up. Because why are you talking about him and you don't even know if he did it or not? Niggas normally be DUIing. Like it don't normally be an accident. Like or a black power moment. No, it's normally if you got arrested for a DUI and then got out a couple of hours later, nigga, you was drunk and you know the right people. Shut up.
Mm. And there's that.
I'm
Was
mad
there
at
anything else? Oh, you
Kim.
said you mad at Kimmy?
Yeah, because of the interview. She was acting like, I'm not okay with him cheating. And if he was cheating, but it's like you just told us you don't trust him. So does it matter if he's cheating if you don't trust him?
Mm.
Nah, it don't matter. She's talking out of both sides of her neck because she's already self-soothing. Self-soothing.
I don't know, man. I'm sad about the way she going out because I feel like she playing herself out so that she could be with a man that is knowingly harming her. Like even him saying that, we're just coming off of her health scare. Y'all, that pissed me off. I was like, it wasn't a health scare. She had cancer. A health
Right.
scare is when you think you might have something and you don't.
Come on.
It's not when you actually fight the fucking cancer and live. And then she has such a high level of cancer. The way she is holding so that she don't go off on this nigga, the way she is holding so she protects his image, it triggers me because I wish she cared about herself more than she cares about having a relationship with Maurice. Because I feel like if you get sick again, I don't know if you're gonna recover, and I'm gonna feel like it was his fault because why are you stressing this woman so terribly when your fucking ass should be at home or at least
Right.
don't get arrested for no fucking DUI and let everybody know that your ass always outside and I'm just going to sleep without knowing where the fuck you are. Like when I tell you, like even in an open situation, that's not how that shit's supposed to go. If somebody not coming home, you supposed to know they not coming home, and you supposed
Right.
to fuck they at. So the fact that she
Mm-hmm.
had to get up out of her bed and go look for you, that lady 50 something years old recovering from fucking cancer, she should never have to do that. And you sit in front of her like a teenage boy talking about, I don't know if you can help me. And I am upset that I feel like such an amazing person is selling themselves out. And that's triggering for me. So I'm gonna just be real. Oh,
Saying you don't know if she can help you makes me think that you don't want her to learn any additional details. Like you just don't want her to learn nothing else,
Yeah, right. He's
which
not
is why
enough. He
she
can
doesn't
help me.
trust you.
He like
and I
this a
hope she
personal
see this
thing.
shit. I hope she see this shit. Like real nigga shit, add her in it. I don't even give a fuck. I want you to hear it. Cause at the end of the day, like you gotta know that sometimes when people say shit about what's going on that show, it's really coming from a genuine place. It's not coming from a, oh, we just want to talk shit about y'all.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause y'all on a TV show. No, it's because it's triggering to watch an amazing person sell themselves out for a relationship that doesn't seem balanced just because he sat in a chair while you went through fucking chemo. Like,
It was
no,
a health scare, so obviously she should have been slanging puss. That's what the whole
Um,
last season was about.
girl,
okay.
let's not forget about that. And then how I felt like she was rushing home off that trip, and how you couldn't even really be comfortable on that trip because you couldn't trust what his ass was doing when you wasn't home and you was gonna be gone overnight. It shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that, man. And I'm sad about that because I really do feel like Kimmy is, like Kimmy's an amazing person. And they was talking about how Tidra Moses looks like Felicia Rashad, but I was like, damn, she looked like Kimmy a little bit to me. And then I'm like, damn, does
Oh
Kimmy
yeah, she does.
a little bit? Like I was like, oh, they look alike.
I don't see that.
No, but like
The
y'all know
teachers'
how
noses do look like both of them.
yes. And so that's why I was like, there's a similarity in their faces. So I kept seeing that and I love that song. That was crazy how that song came out like 11 years ago and it's just really popping the way it is. But anyway, yeah, I'm sad about it. And let's see, besides the Destiny's Nell, we can't pass up Nell. Cause out
Hold on,
girl.
before we
What
get to
happened
Neil,
with
hold on,
that?
hold on, hold on. Praise and always said I don't see them on the show much longer because the issues getting out. I actually still see them on the show. I do because I think that Maurice enjoys competing with Marceau. So he's not gonna let his brother stay on the show and him leave. And then they also ain't gonna want no fans to feel like they ran them off the show. And yeah, they get their piece of money. I don't see them leaving at all. What you was gonna say, Bonnie, about Neil and Mel?
Nell. Okay, so Nell pissed me off, right?
Mhm.
Because I feel like this is another time when people are using what Martell says against Mel, like, oh, it's true. Like, because Nell says maybe she's used to do girls. Bitch, you screamed in that lady's face for more than 15 minutes about a name card. And she kept her temperament with you the whole time. Well, I would have cursed your fucking ass out. I would have been like, if you don't take your drunk old ass in that fucking room and leave me
Me
alone
too.
about this goddamn name card, bitch, there's a whole room for you. You got a room better than half the holes in this house. What do you want from me? Like, I would have been there with it. But Mel was like, Miss Nell, let's go to the side. Let's talk. Okay, do you want another room? Are you comfortable? Do you need some? That was Mel. So when people say Mel needs a do girl, I'm like, don't fucking do that. Don't use
Yeah,
shit
just don't be fake. That's the
like
thing.
because
And
at
I
the end
knew
check you and you let it rock.
that's what I was about to say. I knew in that scene in the kitchen when Mel had to really correct her, it's an echo. Um, I felt like people were gonna take it and run with it, like, oh, look at Mel trying to teach people how she should be discussed. You know, they would try to make it seem like Mel wouldn't allow anybody to have an opinion. But I think that it was her way of saying this goes against what I know from you. You know this not to be true, so why would you speak on that? And she had case in point every single time, and I wasn't even mad at it.
Like, I really be wanting to be mad at Mel and not argue on her behalf. Like every time. Like, if you can show me another way, I will see it, y'all. Cause I hate people saying that I'm just going along with somebody because I like them. That's not my way, y'all. I'm really not. Like I would try to find a way to disagree with you. That's why I always say I don't like when she don't be 100% upfront. Like when they was at the table, say what the fuck the problem is. Stop getting quiet and not saying nothing. I say when I don't like some shit. But at the end of the day, bruh, like the way Nell was this lady's friend, and you want to call yourself a mentor. In real life, you wanted to call yourself a mentor because you're older. You wanted the respect of an older woman. But when they hold you to that standard and ask you to act like an older woman, you get mad and start being like, no, because my age, how y'all know I'm older? Ma'am, at the end of the day, you a grown-ass woman. Why you mad about a name card? Why you still, and then you talking about, I feel like I should have had Sunny Room. Girl, what? It's a trip that you didn't pay for and you got paid to be there. And you still had your own room with no roommate. Why are you still you had your own bathroom and your own room with no roommate and you complaining, but she a do girl if she check you about you putting her and Martell in the same boat like she not being abused by him? Nah, man, fuck out of here.
I'm gonna say two things. One, you mentioned something, Bondi, about Nell taking Martell's word. I'm like, that ain't the first time she did this shit. I've been called Nell a lot when they was her and Mel was sitting down by that waterfall after she had met with Martell. Then she came back and told her some information like it was actual factual, and then Mel got emotional and started crying. She's always done this shit. She has always done that shit.
Fine. We all know Martell fine. I'm like, you will fuck that nigga if you had the opportunity. And that's why I be like, y'all gotta watch all these hoes because everybody would take the dick and just be quiet about the shit. Everybody. Melnika, anybody? That's why I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Destiny talking about. Bitch, I don't trust nothing nobody saying. Cause y'all be way too nice to a nigga that does fucked up shit to another woman and you a woman. So to me, if you going along with it, it's because you want the dick in some way. I don't care what y'all talking about.
The other thing was, I think Mel had a point when she told Neil she could have easily said, I'm here to talk about myself pretty much and not discuss Mel in interviews and stuff. But I also feel like when it's an ensemble cast and it's not just about one person, just looking at like other reality shows, they always going to talk about each other in interviews. I think it's just more so about what you say or how you say. Like if you know you primarily talk to Martell, you get a lot of your information from him, then it would be him that probably would get on your nerves more than it's her. You know what I'm saying? But if it's also her honest experience that Mel gets on her nerves, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's cool too. But don't pretend like you cool with a bitch in their face. And then as soon as you get around somebody who you know don't like her, now y'all like, oh yeah, Mel this, Mel that. And they all do that shit. The only reason that Tisha is friends with Destiny right now is because they don't like Mel together.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Somebody said the cast not taking the DV thing, the conviction seriously, and it's annoying. And I'm like, that's another thing. They really not taking it seriously. It's almost like everybody want Mel to just kind of ignore the things that he's doing. But I'm like, he keeps taking her to court over her kids. And he the one that can't afford them. Like, he can't afford all them kids. You the one with an extra nigga. You got 5 kids. I have 4. Like, I just feel like at this point, it's just kind of weird to me how everybody act like they can't see this. But then again,
no, they don't want to upset Martell. And I think Mel is just like, put on camera or speak on what you tell me. They probably they spare his feelings, and it's at the cost of her looking crazy. Well, we know she don't look crazy, but it's like they try to make her look crazy or gaslight her. So it's like, no, let's be consistent. I feel like there's things that Nell probably has discussed with Mel But she don't want to keep that same energy because everybody's scared, like you were saying, Bondi, about Martell because they know that he's the ticking time bomb out of the two of them
And that's
between Mel
exactly
and
what I
Martell.
was like. They
He
know he
wants to
gonna
play
blow
you.
up. That's why they ain't
Yeah.
saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, and I
Yeah.
tell y'all, I can't wait for that scene when Martell sprayed Marceau and Tisha. Talking about she fucked my homeboy. Like,
Yeah.
please spray it, cause I'm tired. And everybody be like, I heard Kimmy say in a preview, oh, it's her lot in life to prove that everybody else is cheating. And I'm like, because y'all been getting a check off of her getting cheated on for too long. When y'all are getting cheated on
Mm.
too, and y'all just do everything y'all can to keep it a secret. And I would respect that if you wasn't on a reality show. I would respect that if you wasn't on a if you in real life you don't want nobody to know what's going on because it's embarrassing for you. I ain't never mad at somebody, but you can't get a check off a reality show and be mad when somebody is like, nah, bitch, yo nigga cheating too. Let's talk about it. Like, come
For
on, bro.
sure. Because when you think about it, I feel like shit, Trisha, and even though she get on my nerves, I think she a liar. They about came on and they gave more um in these
Scott,
past few
They have.
this past season than some folks have all the time they've been on this damn show.
Mm-hmm.
I just
But
want her to stop
he gonna
lying.
stick with his core six.
Yep, Carlos. Carlos.
And they
But
gonna
how
find somebody else like Trish and them, if not Trish and them, to bring in their storyline to carry it where everybody else doesn't have to tell what's going on with them.
okay, question. Do
What's up?
y'all think that they brought Trisha on because they didn't want to bring Arion on, but they wanted to bring somebody that he cheated on Mel with?
I don't know.
Because
But
remember, and
I don't
we
know.
didn't talk about that, about how it's the timeline. Because Martell said, "Oh, it's when Mel was out there with all them other men." And I'm like, come on, bro, stop lying. Because if Mel was really out there with all them other men, you would have been saying that before she left you. Before Mel left you, Martell never brought up her cheating on him at all. He was like, I want us to stay together. I love you. I love you. It wasn't until after they divorced that he started talking about, oh, she was with this guy. She was with that guy. So that's why I'm like, nah, nigga, Mel probably was out of town or having one of her little trips where she, go to a hotel in the city without the kids for 3 days and you had Trisha down to that lady house fucking on her more than one time. Because that's another thing I want to talk about. Why they keep lying about the timeline? First, it was a couple of times she came to my house. Then it was just once. Then we just Netflix. Then we worked out. Like, what is it?
They fud.
Thank you.
basically,
And why
Mm-hmm.
you fucking people you met off Instagram all willy nilly? Trisha.
I do feel like
Right.
I do feel like before this show is canceled,
Before it's canceled.
I because it's on his
Well,
legs, like for real.
I don't know. Every week Carlos does remind us that the views are hitting some
It
type
don't
of
I don't
record.
know what he talking about, Haki, because it don't the views that you getting out do not line up to the views of the first 3 seasons. They're not the same. They may be doing decent for this season and maybe compared to last, but they're not giving what they used to give in the 400, 500,000s. They not there no more. Now, what I will say before this show is canceled, I can see A coming on the show in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because I don't know where they went, but it was the Scotts and Carlos. They took that
You
picture
know what?
together. It seemed like it was like gonna be a new, and I'm like, well, what the hell going on?
You
You
know what
know,
would be the kicker
What?
is if Arion came on the show and the Scots was lit, but she really came on the show exposing the shit she know about the Scots, the linebacker. Because everybody act like they shaking in their boots about her coming on the show for Mel's sake, but they should be shaking in their boots about her coming on the show about their
Yeah,
sake.
'cause that's why I said like they know her because they've been around her, and that's why I was saying like, yeah, that's why y'all didn't really. It wasn't because of Mel. Y'all didn't want her talking about side chicks, nigga. Please, y'all don't want Ariana to come on the show because she gonna talk about all the times y'all have been around each other or the times that y'all husbands have cheated on y'all, and she was present for it. And if there's nothing that Tisha and Kimmy like to do is protect their husbands from everybody finding out whatever it is that they be doing.
I don't see well, shit. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't see everybody filming with her, but we know how stuff get back, right? She films with one person, i.e., Destiny. Destiny takes it, runs it back. It's
No.
just what it is.
Do it,
So
Destiny. Do it. Do it, Destiny. fucking
Or
do it.
Nail got online. I did see that where she did all this rant because she was mad that she got caught in a photo with Arion.
Oh.
It's like, girl, you did all this yelling is not convincing us of anything. You're trying to prove to the people that you're not cool with her. In all honesty, fuck these folks. You don't owe them nothing. You really can't hang with who the hell you want to hang with.
You
People are
really
just
can.
asking you not to be fake about it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Don't
Don't
act
be
like you
cool over
care
here,
about
but trying to
Mel.
be friend over here.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Cause that's weird as fuck for a hoe to try to put out revenge porn on me, and then you kicking it with the bitch talking about we friends. Like,
child.
cause in real life, bitch, I'm sorry, y'all. I would never be friends with Arion. I don't give a fuck how I felt about Martell. I'm not about to ever be friends with a bitch that don't know how to keep her fucking mouth shut. First of all. Second of all, I don't like people that don't know how to control their emotions. So if at any time you feel like you might spray me just because you mad about something, bitch, I'm not fucking with you. Don't bring that hoe around me. Period.
Child. I see her coming though. Even if it's for a little piece. I don't
And
know
you
why
know what?
I can
They
see it.
should. I don't even care if it upset Mel. Bring her on the show. Bring her on
She'll
the show.
never meet Mel though. See, this is what I think. I think she'll never film with Mel. She'll never have anything to do with Mel. I think
Okay.
she also would not do the reunion either. Because I feel like they have to keep I feel the star. You know, they have to keep the main person of the show happy. One, she don't want the girl on there, but it is Carlos's show now. Yes, Mel and Martell may have presented it to them and everything, and they are executive producers. But even
Mhm.
Bravo has shown that technically the network and the production company can do what they want to do high key, but out of respect for Mel, he doesn't. But I don't know. I mean, seeing that post, I don't know what their relationship is, but it was questionable for me. So I'm like, he may still satisfy her over here, but
Mhm.
you can't keep us from having her on unless you pulled a Sophia, right? Sophia,
Mm.
I think she may have had a restraining order or something in place, but even then, they still could film with Selena over here, i.e. Arion over here, and you be over there. So I don't know.
I
But that's
feel like
what Martell was telling Tasha K in that interview. He kept telling Carlos to bring her on, like show my real life. Like you ain't even capturing it. Bring her on.
but he only want to do
I
that
just
to piss Mel off because in all honesty, if he really cared about Ariane, he'd have married her already. And he has not married her because she doesn't fit the mold of what he would want for a wife. And
That's why he want her on the show. To piss, like you said, Mel off because I feel like Mel may, I don't know, but I really feel like Martell may have said at some point, he may not. I could be putting words in his mouth, forgive me, but I feel like he could have said at some point that he made Mel or something. And you know how it gives, make another one, bitch. So for him, he probably like, all right, bet, bring her on the show and see how I flip this. Now that would be comical because I don't think it's gonna flip how you think it's gonna
I
flip.
don't. I don't. I don't think she's interested.
But
I think she's
you could
trifling.
try.
I think it's gonna make her look worse than she already looks via social media. Like, bitch, why your baby crying like that? Why she's gonna look like one of those torn down, those torn down young women that have like linked themselves to a man to their own detriment. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Your ponytail might move, but you still look tired under your eyes, bitch. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you might be thin, but you also might have to go back to the doctor's office and you ain't getting that nigga insurance because you got a fibroid or some shit like that. Because you just never know. Either way,
Body came
nobody
up.
like perfect, bitch. Ain't nobody like perfect. Shit always wrong. Okay, listen. All I'm saying is, bring her on the show. Bring
Yeah,
her.
she ain't got a dinner. That's the thing. People don't realize it's a certain quality that you have to have, and it can't
Yes.
just be on paper. You got to have that aura to be that girl to
And she's
execute.
proven she's not based on Instagram Live. Like you couldn't
Right.
even monetize your situation. First of all, if I was you, bitch, when I tell you I'd have monetized the fuck out that situation, I'd have been reviewing I'm not about to keep arguing with y'all every time the show over, bitch. We on live. Let's talk. I'm gonna tell y'all where Martell was
It has to
during
be a reason why she doesn't do that, though. It has to be.
him because she wants him and he don't want her to talk. So that's the reason why whenever she feel like she wants to, she get a phone call or a text message and she pull back. I bet you any money is because she wants him. And once again, it's because you value that nigga over yourself. Because if you value yourself over that nigga, you'd have capitalized off this situation, threw that nigga to the dust and got somebody your own fucking need. But do your thing.